Okay, here we go.
Hello, Tori and Billy. We're excited that you're traveling out Tuesday to come pick up your camper. It's Thursday evening. We have a couple more things to finish up on your camper, but it's getting super close and we'll be ready for you. We thought we'd try to make this video. You're our experiment. We appreciate you doing that. And I thought, Molly and I thought it would be in an effort to help you better understand the camper. So we're looking at the driver's side of a 9.5 foot Cuchara. You have your hot water heater, your fresh water fill, your outside shower. Underneath here, you're going to find your city water connection, which is right here. Okay. Since this isn't visible, a lot of people forget about it. Your truck's going to sit about here, so it's going to be accessible when it's on the truck. And this is a place you're going to hook in for water or winterize the camper. So this is important that you don't forget that it's underneath this wing. But we'll come back to that. Typically we have the refrigerator venting back here, but you're kind of a special case. You don't have the ordinary refrigerator, so what we did use these spots for is storage. So this would be a good place to keep hoses or anything that might be dirty that you just want to kind of keep outside. And there's actually a shelf up in here, so it's not going to fall through. So in this upper cabinet you've got a shelf, and there'll be some doors that fit over here, and things will be protected and they won't fly out. It's also a good place where it's vented, so you know, things like propane, small propane bottles and things like that that you would worry about leaking gas, that would be a good place to keep them, because it would be outside and not dangerous for you. Okay. This is just a burp vent for a P-trap. So since you've got a sink and you've got gray water, you've got to have a burp vent. So it's just to keep the smells outside. P-traps can get smelly sometimes, so that's what that's all about. And then of course you have a driver's side light here, and I'll show you where that turns on. Up front you have a cord. Since we're going to bolt you down, you really won't need to know much. We're going to put it on and bolt it down, so you really won't need to know, but it's important that you know it's up here. It's going to plug into the side of your truck. Your truck's going to be here. We're going to plug it in. You can get to it, even though we're going to bolt this down. You can actually get to this plug, so if you ever needed to disconnect it for any reason, or you needed to check it, you could basically go through this door from the inside of the camper, and you could check this plug that's right here. So just FYI.
Maybe open it so we can see it.
I don't think I can open.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that from the inside too, yeah?
Yeah, we can do that from the inside. Okay. Okay, so the first thing to note is the water you take with you. You need your key. It'll be the same key as your back door that you use to open and close your back door. Open your water fill. You'll be able to take off the cap and fill yourself with water. This is the water that you take. So if you're off grid, you're going to need to fill yourself with water, and you're going to hold a little over 30 gallons of water. When you're filling with water, it's important that you turn on the water pump inside, and I'll show you where that switch is inside a little later in the video. If you don't turn on that switch, you're going to just fill a 27-gallon tank. And then when you do turn on your water pump, your hot water heater is going to steal 6 gallons of it. So that's why it's important to turn on your water pump while you're filling, so the water heater can be filled up as well, because it's a 6-gallon tank. So between the 27 and the 6, you have a little over 30 gallons of water. Now, if you were at a campground and you wanted continuous water, the city water connection, which is underneath here that we talked about earlier, that's where you would connect. Anytime you use the city water connection, you're going to want to use your pressure regulator. Okay, the pressure regulator has a flow direction on it. You can see an arrow. Okay, that flow direction is important. You know, that's the way you want the water flowing. And you can put this at the spigot, or you can put this at the city water connection. So it's up to you, but you need to use it because you don't know the water pressures as you're traveling around the country. It could be 40 psi, in which case you really wouldn't need this. It also could be 100 psi, which could damage the camper and cause you all kinds of grief. So this is for your protection, and you should use this anytime you hook up at a campground or at your house or a friend's house. And this will protect you against water pressures. So this will be in your camper for you. Your outside shower, which is just directly below your freshwater fill, is kind of different. It's what we call a bullfin shower. This is your hose, and as you can see, it's kind of like a key. You can see where the key fits in here. Okay, I pop the key in, and then I twist, and I can set my hot and cold here. So you can see the red and the blue, and that's how I set my temperature. And then once you're pressurized and your water pump's on, you can go ahead and use your outside shower. Whether you use it or not, I guess that'll determine you guys. But you know, cleaning dogs, motorcycles, or if you just want someone to take a shower outside, you're set. Now, one important thing about the outside shower, when you turn it off, if you just pull it off, you're gonna get sprayed. So it's important that you turn it to the off position, then hit the trigger on the hose, and that's going to relieve the pressure and keep you from getting sprayed. And then go ahead and empty out the hose by holding the trigger on the head and letting the water come out.
Nicely done. You didn't even get me sprayed.
Right next to your freshwater fill and your city or your outside shower and city water, you have your hot water tank. Okay, there's really nothing to do in here until it's time to winterize the camper, or if you're going to stop using the camper. This is where I told you when you fill, there's 6 extra gallons of water in your water heater. In the winter, if you're going to stop using the camper and it's cold outside, we have problems with freezing. You guys are from California, so you might not have
Nevada.
Nevada, sorry.
Close.
Yeah. But I know it can get cold in Nevada, so you probably will need to drain this if you're going to stop using it. To drain it is a drain plug here. Okay, I'm going to install, the drain plug you see here is the way it comes. I'm going to install a easy drain. Basically, it'll just have a twist on it, and you'll be able to twist and open it to drain it. It's important that you drain it in the winter, but it's also important that you drain it in the summer. If you're not going to use the camper, the water is going to sit in there, and depending on where you get your water, it's going to start growing things. And so if you're putting the camper away and you're just going to let it sit, I say if it's going to sit longer than 2 weeks, empty the water. The water's chlorine really kind of wears out within 48 hours, and the water starts growing things. So even in the summer when it's nice and warm and you're not worried about freezing, it's good to drain this tank. Now, before you drain it, it's important that you relieve